So is your supply chain or distribution network failing to deliver what you expect in terms of cost and service? Look, it's not uncommon and quite often, networks grow up over time and it's really hard to see why your costs are going up, why your service is not what you expect. So let me share some tips with you in this very quick video. My name's Rob O'Byrne from Logistics Bureau, and rather than me just sort of walk through the park here sharing the tips, what we'll do is we'll go and get a seat over at the little cafe there, the other side of the river, and we'll get to those tips. Okay, we've found a quiet corner right next to the Parramatta Park Cafe, I think. Not quite open, but we'll get a coffee there in a minute. And there's the river where we were just a moment ago, just behind me. So, network design, distribution networks, supply chain networks, that's the topic of this video. And I see so many businesses who have issues with their network and they're really not quite sure what's happening in it. So let me just share with you some thoughts about why might there be something wrong with your distribution network, supply chain network. I'll use the terms interchangeably because really we're just talking about the scope of your network. Distribution network, we're really talking about finished goods from your warehouse out to your customers. Supply chain network is generally talking about sourcing and all the way through to customers. So if I swap in and out of the terms, that's really the difference. But some of the key issues that or maybe symptoms that you may have in your distribution network are these. And what tends to happen is that distribution networks grow up over time and they become inefficient and costly and you don't really know what's going on. There's too many moving parts in it. So if you are managing a distribution network where suddenly costs are getting a lot higher, the cost per pallet, the cost per case going through your network is increasing, that's certainly an indication that there's something wrong with your network. Also, if you're having a lot of customer service issues, sure, there could be problems, with inventory availability and so on, but again, it's one of those symptoms where there may be something going wrong with your distribution network. And also, what I see in a lot of businesses, and I've redesigned probably 100 distribution networks over the years, and very often, and it happens quite a lot in industrial products particularly, is that you get not just a lot of warehouses in the network, but they become sales branches. So you imagine you want salespeople near your market, you want stock near the market, and the two kind of grow up together, and it doesn't make a lot of sense. The two things are separate functions, and so when I see a network of 50 or 100 branches that also have warehouses on the back, I'm starting to get worried there that maybe the business doesn't quite understand the customer service requirements. They probably don't understand how to deploy inventory properly across the network. So those are some of the things that may indicate that you've got an issue with your distribution network, supply chain network, whatever the scope is. If you want some further information on this, just pop along to my blog, logisticsbureau.com. Just click on the blog button at the top right there. I've done loads of videos and articles and so on distribution networks, and I'm sure you'll find a lot of really good information there. The other thing is, if you're watching this video kind of as soon as it's gone up, there's another opportunity where you can learn a lot more about this, and that's actually an event I'm running in Sydney on the 26th of October. And that's going to be a whole day coaching event where we'll be covering this topic and lots of others like outsourcing and risk and contracting. And what I've done is I've brought together 20 industry leaders to share their knowledge with you, and it's not one of these conferences where they're just up on the stage sort of killing you with PowerPoint. It's actually small group coaching sessions, so that's going to be a lot of fun as well. So if you happen to be in Sydney, 26th of October, come along to that as well. I'll make sure there's a link to that somewhere on this page, as well as the link to the blog. So go to the blog, get some more information, come along to that event. If you're wondering actually about that event, is it expensive? No, it's only $87 a ticket, and that actually goes to charity as well. Although there's not a lot of tickets left, I should add. I've got this great little app on my phone from Eventbrite. We'll give Eventbrite a plug. They're doing all our registrations, and it tells me how the bookings are going, and if I look at that, I can see there are 23 tickets left. So if you want to come along to that event on the 26th of October, only $87 goes to charity. And just to recap, the symptoms of your network going wrong, You've got too many branches, too many warehouses in the network, your costs are escalating, you've got issues around customer service. Those are the things to look for. Really hope you can improve your own distribution network. Look forward to seeing you again soon.